How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And you know what time it is. It is time for the joke of the day. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we do this 5 days out of the work week. Maybe you had a long, maybe you had a stressful day, or maybe it was a market conditions. Well, you came to watch this video, plus hear one of my corny jokes. Here it comes. What do you give to a sick lemon? Lemonade. Get it? Lemonade aid. But anyways, what we're going to be talking about today is OCGN. Yes, it did have a pullback inside of the market, but I have a lot of details that I want to share with you so you're prepared and know what to look forward to going into tomorrow, and especially as we get closer to receiving our decision. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support, we want to know resistance, and what are some key levels we want to look out for going into tomorrow. And then afterwards, we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information. Are shorts still heavily vested in this play? We're going to find out. And then afterwards, we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know, were institutions loading up on shares today, or was it mostly selling that was happening? And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details that I think everyone needs to know. So let's get to it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for OCGN. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $6.82, being down 4.48%. On the low, it tested $6.77, and then on the high, testing $7.24. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 11.377 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 10.047 million shares. So even though we did have above average volume on the day, you could tell we dealt with a lot of selling pressure. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a 1-year daily chart, when we see the RSI down below, it is right around 42.08. As you can see, clearly getting right into that oversold territory. And when we take a look at the moving averages on the chart, we are below all of them, and we've even broken through the 200-day. We have been used to being above it. Of course, I wanted to see us hold up that $7 level, but we did not end up getting that. There was a lot of volatility in the markets. So where we tested on the low was around $6.77. And one thing that you can clearly see, this has been an area of support in the past. So as far as going into tomorrow, I would love to see this hold. If we do decide to pull back though, then the next level I'm going to want to look forward to seeing some strength will be right here at this level around $6.62. All right. And as far as if we end up seeing a reversal, seeing some strength, getting above $7, then of course I want to see us being able to actually get comfortable, actually have consolidation, continue that support that we had that was going. We did end up testing 724 on the day, so I feel like if we could pass that level, it could really get us back into that 750 range. So let's see how the markets perform going into tomorrow, but I want to see OCGN back to holding down $7. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for OCGN. So green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So what we could see here for September the 28th, we have some institutions that went in with new positions, and I must say they're fairly significant, especially with these names. We have BlackRock, we also have Goldman Sachs, and on top of that we also have Morningstar small cap. And as far as what went down for the 28th, just alone the most sizable position taking, we have iShares Edge MCI Min Volume USA small cap ETF that went in with just under 125,000 shares, with BlackRock going in with just under 10,000 shares, and as well as Goldman Sachs going in with just under 70,000 shares, and also Goldman Sachs with small cap equity insights. They ended up going in, let's make sure we're correct here, with just under 15,000 shares as well. So So now let's take a look at the short interest. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 3 million, updated 6 minutes ago. And for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 2.17%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the 27th, it was 51.93. And then for the close from yesterday being at 59.95. So it'll be very interesting to see what the numbers will be later on in the evening. And if I'm able to catch it before the end of this video, you guys will figure out inside of the final thoughts. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for OCGN. So we can see here on the inflow, it was at 15.55, and then on the outflow, it was 17.09. When we take a look at the breakdown, we can see on the large, it was 0. On the medium, it was 10.23, and then on the small, it was 5.32. When we take a look at the outflow side on the large, we have 0.27, and then on the medium, we have 11.56, and then on the small, we have 5.26. So we can clearly see there was a lot more buying on the retail side when we take a look at the small scale orders. When we take a look at what happened on the large for the outflow side, of course, there was some selling, and we also saw this on the medium, but we still had a good amount of inflows as well. And I feel this is pretty good due to the fact we did have a low volume day and the markets were extremely volatile. Now, when we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today, June the 29th, just pretty much taking the outflow from the large that we covered, being at 266.63. So overall, in general, I feel like OCGN was fairly solid on the day because there were many stocks that pulled back a lot more than it did. Another thing also, when I took a look at what was going down inside of the after hours, we are seeing a lot of purchasing and there is some strength. You guys know already, I don't just like to depend on what happens in after hours or the pre-market unless some sort of news comes out during that time. But as far as tomorrow going into the open, I want to see some continued strength. I'd love seeing OCGN being at $7, but due to the fact it was below that, I was talking to many of you on Webull, and some people were saying, hey, I was able to actually start out a new position. So that's also good to hear because that knows that, you know what, you're getting a solid entry. So now let's jump into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for OCGN, when I went on Fintel to check before I started recording a portion of this video, I did not see any updates, so I'm going to assume that it's going to remain above 50%. We can see it was very close to being 60%, but we do know for sure that it has short squeeze potential. Now, as far as the update that I wanted to share with you guys, we have found out there's an official document on the WHO website that says as far as for the assessment for Covaxin, it is ongoing, but as far as the decision is concerned, we should expect to get it in October. So this is definitely some exciting news to see that we got an official release that is coming from WHO instead of having it come from some news outlet that tends to be wrong on many different occasions. So I'm very excited about that. As far as the pullback that we had inside of the market, congratulations to those that were able to take advantage of it. And for anyone that ended up panic selling and so forth, hey, make sure you did what was working right for you and was in your own best interest. I want to make sure that I'm being very clear about that. Do not just hold shares because you're doing it for the sake of it. This particular play is for the people who have done their homework, who have done their due diligence, and have high conviction. This is a very risky play. I want to make sure I'm being very open about that, but I do believe we should be able to get this EUL. And one thing that I want to make sure I'm being clear about, let's keep it positive. I was on Webull talking with you guys and so forth, and it's great to see that, you know what, we have a really good community over there, and it's great to kind of converse with you guys as well. Also, I was buying some call option contracts, but my orders did not get filled whatsoever. I was really trying to make sure I was able to catch the bottom there. I didn't end up getting it, but that is completely fine because I rather see OCGN be above $7, but I do know if it does decide to pull back or do some dips, I'm going to take advantage because, like I said, I'm feeling very confident about this play. And another thing that I want to talk about, we had a very choppy market. There were many stocks that pulled back a lot, and seeing how OCGN performed, there really wasn't that much changes. And as far as that $7 level, now that we did close below it, it does become a psychological area. So the moment we're able to get past it and there's a lot of momentum, then we can look forward to seeing some strength. If we spend another day under that $7 level, that's where we're going to want to look forward to seeing those areas of support actually hold up, like I talked about inside of the technicals. So I hope you guys found this video helpful, and we'll be talking real soon.